Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today on this channel where we boldly tell the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. If this is your first time here, you are most welcome. Please stick with us till the end, because what we are about to discuss is not only critical to Nigeria's future, but it also touches the very soul of our survival as a nation. Now, let's dive right into it. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo, one of Nigeria's most outspoken leaders, has once again dropped a bombshell on the state of the nation. He didn't mince words when he described Nigeria's judiciary as no longer a court of justice, but a court of corruption. Think about that for a moment. The judiciary, supposed to be the last hope of the common man, the pillar of fairness, the institution that balances the excesses of the executive and legislature, has now been publicly branded by one of our elder statesmen as a breeding ground of corruption. That statement, my friends, should not just be a passing headline. It should shake us to our core. Because when the courts are corrupt, it means injustice becomes the law of the land. It means that when the poor man goes to court, he doesn't stand a chance if the rich man has already settled the judge. It means that rigged elections will continue to stand because the courts that should deliver justice have been bought over. It means that fraudulent politicians who have no business leading even a street can buy their way into power and stay untouchable. And it means that ordinary Nigerians who don't have godfathers or billions to throw around are left to suffer and rot without any hope of justice. Now let's talk about what this really means in our daily lives. Nigerians know what it feels like to watch court cases drag for years only for the outcome to favor the highest bidder. We've seen stolen mandates upheld in court. We've seen ordinary citizens rot in prison for years without trial, while corrupt politicians walk free the next day because they know which hands to grease. We've seen judges openly contradicted by evidence, yet deliver judgments that defy logic, common sense, and truth. This is the reality Obasanjo is pointing to, and you and I know it's not just a theory, it is our lived experience. So, when a former president calls out the judiciary so boldly, we must ask, what is left of Nigeria if justice is for sale? Can we really say we are still a democracy when the courts, which are supposed to safeguard democracy, are compromised? The painful truth is that corruption in the judiciary is not just another problem on the list. It is the root that keeps every other problem alive. Because without justice, how can you hold leaders accountable? Without justice, how do you stop election rigging? Without justice, how do you make sure thieves in government return stolen money? Without justice, how do you protect the weak from the strong? Let's not deceive ourselves. When the courts are corrupt, the entire country becomes lawless. And that is why today we see insecurity everywhere, hunger everywhere, failed institutions everywhere, yet no consequences for those responsible. We complain about police brutality, bad roads, poor education, collapsed healthcare. But ask yourself, why is nobody ever punished for these failures? It's because the judiciary is not working. When the watchdog is sleeping or bribed, the thieves will always have a free hand. Now, let me speak directly to you, the youth of Nigeria. You are the generation that has suffered most from this failed system, but you are also the generation with the power to change it. The old ways of sitting back, complaining, and waiting for miracles won't work. If you accept corruption in the judiciary as normal, then don't expect good governance. If you laugh it off and say, Naso Nigeria be, then you are preparing chains for your own future. Obasanjo's words should not just be another trending headline. They should be a call to action for us to say, enough is enough. So, what can we do? First, we need civic awakening. Nigerians must begin to understand that justice is the backbone of every society. We cannot leave the courts in the hands of a few corrupt judges and expect miracles. Citizens must start demanding accountability from the judiciary just as much as from politicians. We need to shine the spotlight on judicial corruption and treat it as a national emergency. Second, we must begin to build a culture where young lawyers, judges, and legal professionals see integrity as a badge of honor, not foolishness. For too long, corruption has been normalized to the point where honesty is seen as stupidity. That mindset must die. We must begin to celebrate upright judges and expose the corrupt ones. Third, the people must rise and insist on systemic reforms. The appointment of judges must no longer be based on political godfathers, but on competence and proven integrity. Court proceedings must be transparent, with records made public. Cases involving politicians must not drag endlessly, while ordinary citizens suffer swift judgments. We must build a judicial system that protects the weak and disciplines the powerful. And finally, my brothers and sisters, let us never underestimate the power of our collective voice. When citizens are awake, when the youth are politically conscious, when the people refuse to be silent, even the most corrupt judge or politician will tremble. Look around the world. History shows us that nations only change when ordinary citizens decide that enough is enough. Nigeria will not be an exception. So Obasanjo has thrown the challenge. The ball is now in our court. Will we just sit back, complain, and scroll to the next trending gist? Or will we take this as a wake-up call to demand a Nigeria where justice is not for sale, where corruption does not sit in the courtroom, where the courts truly become the hope of the common man? That choice is ours, and the future of this nation depends on it. If you believe Nigeria deserves better, if you believe the courts should be a place of justice, not corruption, then let your voice be heard. Speak out, organize, and let us use every peaceful democratic means to reclaim this country from the grip of lawlessness. Nigeria is our home, and if we don't fix it, nobody else will. Thank you so much for watching. If this message spoke to you, please don't just click away. Help us spread the truth. Hit the like button, share this video with everyone in your network, and drop your thoughts in the comment section. We want to hear your voice. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel for more bold, fearless, and truth-centered content. Together, we can awaken this nation and reclaim the Nigeria we deserve.